At this time, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. In the last few days, in this time of political divide and world viruses and change, tonight is going to be a very positive experience. The American journalist Sidney J. Harris once stated that the whole purpose of education is to turn mirrors into windows. Tonight, we are gathered together to honor a group of hardworking and dedicated students that have taken their education to a new level, from mirrors of personal reflection and introspection to windows of opportunity and community growth. On behalf of myself, Pat Bowles, manager of the Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed program, along with our new CEO of the Literacy Alliance, Melinda Haynes, and welcome, we will be celebrating the accomplishments of over 280 high school equivalent graduates in our Fort Wayne Community School program, HSE program, and 58 HSE graduates from the Literacy Alliance for a grand total of 338 HSE graduates who graduated from January 1st to December 31st, 2019. We also have an additional 10 students that will be earning their high school diploma this evening as well. So nearly 80 of these HSE high school graduates from last year have gathered on stage this evening to receive their high school diploma or their high school equivalent diploma. All of these graduates have met the requirements of their HSE or high school diploma, and many also have received a certification in a vocational certificate program in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, or business. Primary partners for us include Work One Northeast, Indiana Works, Fort Wayne Community Schools, the Literacy Alliance, Allen County Juvenile Center, and the East Wayne Street Center. The Literacy Alliance has HSE classes throughout Allen County, and the Fort Wayne Community Schools Continuing Education program currently has adult ed classes located at Anthus, East Wayne Street Center, the Grable Allen County Public Library, Ivy Tech Community College, the Parkview Education Center, and the Allen County Juvenile Center. The Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed program includes English Language Literacy, English Language High School program, High School Equivalency program, Expectant Mother, Expectant Father program, High School Diploma, and Neighborhood Connection program. Our Continue Ed program in 2019 served over 2,400 students with over 814 basic ed students, 310 English language learners. The age range of our program in 2019 was from 16 years of age to 91. And approximately 67% of the students were between the ages of 17 and 24. Our Neighborhood Connection program provided over 100 classes for skill training and general interest for over 800 participants. It is easy to see that our program is reflective in our statistics by the many accomplishments of our students on this stage, setting the standard and being the role models for the rest of our adult education participants. Now, let's take a look at our 2020 graduating class that's up on the stage. I'm not a mathematician, so I hope my numbers are accurate. But to tell you just how special this graduating class of 2020 is, let's review the statistics. During the time period from January 1st to December 31st, 2019 program year, the Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed program had 994 students that made their way to the HSE orientation program that's held weekly at Anthus. Of those 994 students that were interested in the program, 792 of those HSE students completed orientation and found that they could not only be persistent enough to complete the orientation process, but attempted to begin actual HSE classes. Of those 792 students that began classes, these students actively engaged in nearly 88,475 hours of instruction last year. That amounts to an average of about little shy of 111 hours per student. And of these 792 students that went to like 2-week fast track classes, 4-week classes, 6-week classes, or longer, of these 792 students, 305 total students took their HSE test. And of those 307 students, 280 of those students, including those students that are sitting on the stage this evening, passed all 5 sections of the HSE test, scoring 500 or more points on each of the 5 categories in reading, writing, math, science, and social studies. This is above the state average, and if we look just at our second half of the 2019 calendar year, from July 1st of 2019 up until last December 31st, the total number of HSE testers that passed in our continuing ed program was 127 students. That amounted to 25% of our total fall HSE student enrollment, which was one of the highest in the state of Indiana. And not only that, but we also received approximately $12,000 additional dollars to use in our program because of that high rate of these students that are on the stage. Now, these are incredible numbers and percentages and reinforces 2 very important factors. And I keep mentioning this all around the state of Indiana. We have the best students in the state and the best teachers in the state as well. And so importantly, the best of the best are here tonight celebrating a job well done. In a moment, all of our graduates will be honored by the reading of their names and the presentation of their diplomas. Throughout this diploma ceremony, you're going to be hearing from 5 graduate speakers and what this accomplishment means to them. No words outside of our speakers are more important than the speakers who have lived their dream. The uniqueness of our graduation program rests within our own graduates whose stories are told from their own perspective, full of struggles, barriers, and finally triumph over all the odds that life has placed on each graduate present this evening. This is a major milestone in their lives, and it's very important that all of us celebrate their successes over all the barriers that they have faced pursuing their diploma. This evening of celebration is also a story of those individuals that have supported our graduates throughout this educational and vocational journey. This is a beginning to a new hope, new careers, and a new future for them. We are so pleased to see so many family, friends, teachers, community leaders here to join this celebration. Included in the audience tonight are many individuals that without you, our graduates, would never have been successful. To the families and friends, may you continue to show that same support for these graduates as they hopefully strive to do bigger and better things in their lives. So you won't be able to see everybody, but to the 40 teachers, teaching assistants, volunteers, and administrators at both the Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed program and the Literacy Alliance, could you all stand at this time to be recognized, please, for the tremendous work you do with our students throughout the year. To the Indiana State Department of Workforce Development and our fiscal agent, Northeast Indiana Works, we thank you for your continued financial support to both our programs that allow us to educate our students to the highest standards and grants that provide even free certification classes for our students so that they can not only get their educational diploma, but also earn certification training in high-demand careers around the Allen County area. And to the community leaders that have gathered with us tonight to praise our graduates and share in their success, we thank you for being here tonight. I've seen a few come in. I'd like to introduce our Allen County Commissioner from District 1, Mr. Nelson Peters. Fort Wayne City Councilwoman from the 6th District, Ms. Sharon Tucker. The Mayor of Fort Wayne, Mr. Tom Henry. From our Fort Wayne Community School Board, our Vice President and President, Mrs. Marie Norman and Ms. Julie Hollingsworth. Our Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Kathy Friend. Our Chief Officer of Students, Dr. Deborah Faye Robbins. Chief of School Leadership, Ms. Get Nichols. The leader of our Youth Life Skills program, Mr. Mark Outlaw. Principal of the Career Academy, Mr. Jesse Webb. Assistant Principal, Mrs. Mary McCardle. And Guidance Counselor, Ms. Tamara Sear-Jenkins. And from Northeast Indiana Works, Mrs. Barb Hoffmeyer. We also received this evening a letter from Mike Braun, United States Senator, congratulating students for your hard work and your efforts and your accomplishment tonight. We also want to thank LTV teacher Elizabeth Lord Carey, as tonight's graduation ceremony is being taped and played on television, Frontier 24 and Comcast Channel 54 from March 15th to the 28th. You can check your program that was passed out as you came in for the complete schedule of days and times. We also want to thank Jesse Webb, Principal of the Career Academy, Kathy Wise, her Career Academy at Anthus students, and Mr. Milt Johnson for being the photographer once again this year, and his son, and Principal David West and his staff here at Northside to allow us to have the program here. Now, the reason that everybody came, we're going to begin the diploma ceremony with our 5 student graduate speakers, along with 2 of our HSE teachers, Ann Von Gunten and Jessica Ginsick, who will be reading the names of each graduate. Mr. Jesse Olden, Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed Administrative Assistant, Mrs. Melinda Haynes, CEO of the Literacy Alliance, and Mr. Brian Schlichtenmeyer, Director of the Adult Programs at the Literacy Alliance, who will be handing out the HSE and high school diplomas.
Will the first row of graduates please stand and come forward? Bailey Burton.
Oops. They don't prepare.
Ramon Amaro. Kevin J. Amaya Miranda. Donald Arbuckle. Caleb Asbill. Mackenzie L. Beery. Inesha Burns. Our first graduation speaker is Bailey Burton.
I want to start off by congratulating everyone in the HSE class of 2019. I, for one, know the challenges that come with this journey. Whether making the decision to complete your HSE in lieu of finishing high school or coming back to it later in life, this is such a huge accomplishment. Many of you don't know me, but I want to share my journey that led me here. My name is Bailey Burton. I'm 22 years old. I'm newly married, and I'm a mother of 4 amazing children. About 6 years ago, I was challenged with one of the most rewarding but difficult life changes I could have ever imagined. At merely 16 years old, I found out I was going to become a mother. Motherhood is an absolute blessing, but at 16, I cannot tell you how much fear and ridicule a person experiences. I was a successful student. I participated in extracurricular activities and sports. I was surrounded by friends. Yet, in the blink of an eye, friends became dwindling. I could no longer participate in sports that I loved, and teachers became more ruthless than students, creating a very unhealthy environment for a student in my situation. This led to my decision to drop out of high school and seek out an alternative online education. My dad definitely did not love the idea of his child dropping out of school, but he showed me absolute support considering the situation at hand. Throughout my pregnancy, I excelled in an online program, but upon my daughter's arrival, I experienced new difficulties. My father worked full-time, and as absolutely as supportive as he was, a large portion of my day had to be dedicated to my child without any assistance. Eventually, my online classes fell on the back burner, as I had a new priority. Shortly thereafter, I could no longer continue the online classes. My life was and would go on to change forever. 6 months following this new adventure, I found out I was expecting another little bundle of joy. My boyfriend and I decided that living together made the most sense considering our growing family. At merely 18, shortly before our son's arrival, we were on our own. My now husband worked tirelessly to support our family financially, and I did the same at home. Our family had already started, and for us, it made sense to continue growing our family while he worked full-time and went to college full-time. We wanted to get through the tough stuff while all of our children were little so that we could be in a better place once they were old enough to remember. We welcomed another little girl in 2017. We got engaged in early 2018, and toward the end of the year, we purchased our first home together. If those experiences weren't blessing enough, in 2019, we welcomed our 4th and final child, another perfect little boy. So here we are, where the time in life is no longer moving so fast, and things are settling down. With 2 of our children in preschool, it was finally my turn to finish school. My husband, my family, my friends were abundantly supportive, not only of me taking my HSE classes, but also with my children and wedding planning. I worked hard to study and ask questions because I knew that I needed this. I dedicated myself to attend my classes at the Grable Library, located a very short distance from my home. With the exception of the week of my wedding, which was conveniently right in the middle of classes, I had perfect attendance. Now that I have earned my diploma, I plan on staying home with my children a little longer. Once I am ready, I plan on attending college and hope of starting a career in the medical field. Every journey is different, some more challenging than others, but I'm standing here before you today because I did it. I may have done things completely differently, Some would even say the hard way. But this was the best way for me. I am proud of myself, along with each and every person who has dedicated themselves to this program. The best investment that we could ever make is an investment in ourselves. Thank you.
Second row of graduates, please rise, come forward. Toriano Cates. Mariah Campbell. Martha Serna Rodriguez. Nian Wei Singh. Kanisha R. Davis. Tu Do. Megan Eby. Devin Forsyth. Takaria L. Gardner. Emma Gonzalez Mora. Samuel B. Gordon. Eileen G. Gudekunst. Nancy Gutierrez. Keandra Harris. Graduates, you can go ahead and sit. We now have the privilege of hearing from graduate Toriano Cates.
Hello, my name is Toriano Cates. Congratulations to my fellow graduates here on stage with me. I was raised by a single mother in a one-bedroom apartment. My two brothers and I slept in the bedroom while my mom and sister slept in the living room. We did not have much growing up, but we did the best of what we had. I learned how to overcome adversity at a very early age. Even though we struggled, my mom gave us all the tools that we needed to survive. No matter the circumstances in my life, I felt fortunate. A recurring theme has been optimism. Optimism that sustained me during my youth. I would have graduated from high school 20 years ago, but I dropped out my sophomore year to help my single mom support a family of 5. There were days when our electricity, water, or heat were even shut off, of bills not being paid. My mom never asked me or told me to get a job, but I knew I could find work. I washed cars, grocery shop, mowed lawns, and shoveled snow for friends and neighbors just to earn money. Optimism. That remained with me when my mother unexpectedly died when I was still a teenager. My siblings and I were temporarily left without a family or home, and my sister had a serious illness at the time. At one point, I was homeless, sleeping in the car. My cousin was with me and wondered what was next. I told him everything would be okay. Optimism. 2 years after my mom passed, I decided to take my cousin's advice and leave Chicago to stay with them in Fort Wayne for a change of scenery. My goal was to get my diploma after I got myself physically and mentally situated. Optimism. That allowed me to look at being laid off last year as an opportunity instead of a setback. It was then that I decided to walk into Anthos and further my education. I started in October and finished in December. Math was not the easiest for me, but I stayed motivated thanks to my teachers pushing me. When I did not pass math the first time, it only inspired me to want it more. Today, it is safe to say that my siblings and I are doing well. Whenever we get together, we optimistically reminisce on how some of our worst times ended up being some of the best times that we had. Dropping out is not my biggest regret. It's my biggest mistake. I am here tonight to make my father and 2 kids proud of me. I wanted my diploma to let my kids know that it is never too late for an education. One of the biggest fears that I had was for them to drop out of school just because I did. I made sure they got to and from school every day. I helped them with their homework every day. I went to parent-teacher conferences. I even walked them to school at times when I didn't have a car, which was about a half a mile away, just to show them the importance of an education that missing school was not an option. Optimism. That is challenging me to take the next steps. I have an opportunity for a new career, and I will be starting my CNC certification soon. And in the near future, I plan to pursue college to study fitness and nutrition. My advice to those here tonight is to look at failure as a learning experience. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Enjoy the journey along the way. Use the fear of failing as motivation. 100% of failure comes from those who quit. If the fear of failure is used as motivation, success could be the next step. Never give up. Thank you.
Will the third row of graduates please stand and come forward? Rebecca Hernandez. Terrace Harris. David Holmes. Carlos L. Jackson. Aisha Jackson. Ryan C. Jarrett. Adriana Jones. Brittany Keefe. Daniel C. Kensel. Alicia King. Andy Kohler. Caleb T. Lemieux. Arnisha R. Lee. Kylie Lemberg. Our next brave graduation speaker is Rebecca Hernandez.
Good evening. My name is Rebecca Hernandez, and I would like to start my speech by congratulating the class of 2019 for accomplishing this goal of obtaining our HSE diplomas. We rock! As you can hear from my beautiful accent, my native language is not English. I was born in Veracruz, Mexico. I lived there for 5 years. Then my family moved to Quintana Roo. For those of you that don't know where is Quintana Roo, it's very close to Cancun. I grew up there, the 8th child of 10 adorable children. I attended CONALEP school and graduated with my technical degree. Life was good in Mexico. My family was very happy together. Then we began hearing stories about the wonderful opportunities in America. My aunts and uncles who had left Mexico worked hard and sent their money to help those of us who still live at home. I could not resist these delightful and hope-filled stories. So in 1997, I graduated school and 1 year later decided to move to the United States. My plan was to work very hard for 2 years in order to get a lot of money. Then I would return to Mexico and help my family. The first 2 years in Indy provided me with work for sure, but I miss my family tremendously. So I returned to Mexico. Now you are probably wondering, if I return to Mexico, what I'm doing here now? That is the amazing part of my story. To my great surprise, once back in Mexico, I found that I have become more Americano than I realized. I yearned to return to America, and I did it. This time, I came to Fort Wayne. The next 16 years, I worked like crazy on different jobs. I worked in factories, in Goodwill stores, and Mexican restaurants. I wanted the American dream. In 2004, I married Pablo Sanchez. I call him my angel because he is my angel. Love you, baby. He is the one who told me, you need to get to school. That way you will find a better job. I don't want you working in a factory all of your life. Pablo knew what he was talking about because he had attended to ENTES. In December 2016, I thought, it's time to get an education for myself, for the future, and also to inspire my kids. I have a daughter named Giselle who is 18, and I have 2 boys, Jared who is 12, and Christopher who is 10. I know God's timing is perfect. I began school in the ELL class in 2017, and I got my HSE in 2019. It was not always easy. I sometimes studied 6 to 8 hours without stopping. Before taking the HSE science test, I studied 10 straight hours. I did not even stop to eat. My husband came home and saw me studying, then went out and get food for me. Finally, the day came. I received a telephone call telling me that I had passed all of my tests. I screamed, I yelled, I danced all around the room. I I did it! I did it! I keep yelling this to everyone. I did it! I did it! When my kids saw my certificate, they were so proud of me. I told them, I have my HSE. Now I want each of you to get your high school diploma. I did it, and you can too. Did you hear me? You can too. Allow me to brag a little. Now I have my HSE, and my daughter Giselle will graduate high school in May with her high school diploma. Yay! We are living the dream. We are living proof of immigrant achievement in America. What is my next goal? If God allows, I want to continue my studies. Presently, I am enrolled at Ivy Tech. I want to become a nurse. When I was in Mexico, I wanted so badly to become a nurse, but my father won't let me. He told me, "You are very nervous. When you see blood, you will faint." Now God has given me a second chance, and I don't want to miss it. I want this dream to come true. One of my biggest dreams is to become a missionary and help others. I told God that I want Him to take me wherever He needs me. I would like to give a special thanks to all my friends that are here, to my family, to all of you. Thank you very much for being here. Also, I like to give a special thanks to my sweet husband, Pablo, for motivating me every day to pursue my studies. Also, I want to thank my children for their patience as they help me with my homework. They still help me with my homework. They are the best. They are my inspiration to continue my studies. Finally, I want to say, God bless you. God bless you all, and congratulations to the class 2019. We did it, we did it. Lo hicimos, lo hicimos.
Row 4 of graduates, please rise. Turquoise Hutcherson. Caitlin Liggett. Saleh Nasur Muhammad. Steve Marcourt. Ashlyn K. Martin. Diana Martin. Nin Maung. Courtney McLemore. Myra Montoroso. Haley Moon. Muhammad Awais. Maria Murillo. Maria Navarro. Sharisa O'Quinn. Dylan Perryman. Kyra Monique Potts. Our next graduation speaker is Turquoise Hutcherson.
I know you guys are so proud of us. Oh my goodness. You guys are very awesome. All of you. All of you. All of you. Literally. Literally. Thank you. Good evening, families and friends of awesome class of HSE 2019. My name is Turquoise Hutcherson. I am the mother of 3 beautiful children, ages 6, 5, and I just had a baby 2.5 weeks ago. I'm not even supposed to be on this stage. I had C-section, so it hurts, but I'm here, you know. That's great. So today is an epic day in our lives. We are here to celebrate the fact that we choose to move forward and not stay stuck in the past. As a child, I relocated many times, so completing high school was a hard task for me. I pursued my high school equivalency in 2019 because my children were both in school, and the timing was right for me to focus on my education. I enjoy challenging myself and taking risks, so I welcome the academic opportunity. And this Career Center was a fantastic solution for me. I had 3 of the most outstanding teachers. I love them. I do. Oh my gosh. I want to cry. Miss D, Miss G, Miss V, and Miss Monica. They are, oh my goodness, they're phenomenal. They are phenomenal. They made me feel so comfortable in their classes. No question went unanswered at all. No, doubting myself. Doubting myself was not an option, okay? They just would not allow me to do that. I brought a positive attitude to the class and to my fellow classmates, and they loved that. That was great for them too. Being a support for them and letting my classmates know that they can do it also boosts my confidence that I can do it as well. I did not allow any negative energy to cause me fear or anxiety like I'm feeling right now. Every staff member I encountered gave me the best support, like top notch, literally. Without their encouragement and motivational talks, I would have given up. My 3 children have been a support system for me also. I love them so much, so I say thank you to them. I love you guys. Te amo mucho, mis niños. I love each and every one of them. So, let's see. The advice I would give is to not give up. Achieving this diploma and being here at this ceremony to deliver this speech is the best feeling I've felt in a long time. I have made others feel, I have made others very proud, and I have made myself even happier. Receiving your diploma or HSE will give you a much distance in life and is a great necessity. I'm so nervous. I am. Necessity to launch you into your desired career pathway. I am now going to college for my bachelor's in accounting. Thank you. Math is something that I have to work hard in, but I love the challenge, okay? I am ready to take that on. I push myself to be a better version of myself and a wonderful role model for my children. I will remember this day forever. I promise myself to move forward without limits on my life. I am strong, educated, and an undefeatable woman. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you.
Will the last row of graduates please stand and come forward? Stephanie Marie Weaver. Omira. Sanjay Rai. Santa Sanchez. Javier Serrato Jr. Adam Shiroda. Aiden Sparkman. Paul C. Stockton. Gia Wee Tron. Fong Lin Tron. Ever Vasquez. Victoria Wilson. James Lynn Wimes. Crystal L. Woods. Taryn Woodward. Paiwan Saisongkem. Stacy S. Yates. And last but not least, Alton Lee Edward Zick. Our final graduation speaker is Stephanie Weaver.
Good evening. Good evening, fellow graduates, friends, and family. My name is Stephanie. If you asked me 5 years ago where I'd be, it wouldn't be here giving a graduation speech. My past has been nothing but hard times, down on my luck, and feeling sorry for myself. Mostly because I listened to people's lies and opinions. I even had doctors tell my parents I most likely wouldn't ever graduate, let alone do much afterwards. I had a husband who told me I did not need an education. I needed to stay home and take care of him and our kids. I felt like no one cared where I ended up or who I became, so I stopped caring. I left high school at the age of 16 because, I knew it all. I did not need anyone telling me what I needed to do because I was already a grown woman. Of course, I still lived at home, didn't pay bills, didn't even cook my own dinner. Ha, I had this. Surprised, I didn't have a thing. I could not get a job that wanted to pay me more than $10 an hour. I could not keep friends because I did not have money to do anything with them. And the worst part, I could not help educate my high school daughter because I did not understand anything she was doing. My daughter hit her freshman year, and that is the same year that I dropped out of high school. I could no longer tell her she had to finish. Who am I to tell my child she cannot do something that I have already done? I found the Literacy Alliance from another nonprofit agency. I remember reading about them and getting very excited, but very nauseous. I wanted this so badly, but I had all those people in my head telling me I couldn't do it if I tried. I prayed that night. I prayed for direction, strength, and the ability to know better. I met with Brian and started my first HSE class in the following week. I was overwhelmed, but I had some amazing teachers who made learning interesting. I found people who cared about me, my education, and my happiness. Miss Amy taught me not to fear anything, but to be excited with who I am and what I am doing. Charlie taught me numbers do belong with my ABCs, but mostly they helped teach me to love myself. I started in January 2019 and earned my certified business certificate. Then in July, I graduated. But it did not end there. As soon as I was able to obtain my HSE diploma, I ran to Ivy Tech. I am now studying human services and have a 3.8 GPA. All this from a girl that couldn't do fractions. I am not stopping here. I plan to go to Purdue to obtain my master's in human services, and who knows, maybe get one of those doctorate things, right? And if you would have asked me 5 years ago where I would be, it sure wouldn't be here, a graduated woman going to college with 2 amazing children and a boyfriend who actually believes in me. I wouldn't be here without the Literacy Alliance. Before I go, I want to thank some people. My father for never losing hope in me, even when I hit rock bottom. My sister Candy for showing me that it is okay to love yourself. My sister Cindy for all the nurturing after we lost our mom. My best friend, my godmother Marilee, for being there even when I didn't want to be. Miss Amy for being the first person to make me feel smart and important. Charlie for showing me numbers are nothing to be afraid of and for showing me all his awesome tricks. My daughter Haley for making me become a better person and standing by my side. My son Jonathan for showing me it's okay to be different and for being my rock. My boyfriend John for showing me not all men are buttheads. And to the Literacy Alliance, I don't feel that there are any words to tell you how thankful I am, but I'm good at keeping promises. So I promise at all of my graduations, I will save a seat for you. I will advocate for you. I will be your success story. I love every one of you. You changed not just my life, but my children's lives. And to the class of 2019, I ask that you don't stop where you are. Keep going. You are worth it. I will not stop until I reach the top, and I hope you all do the same. If no one else believes in you, I do. I would like to end with a quote from my fellow graduates. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. Thank you.
Earlier, I brought you the academic success of these students. Now you have heard their personal side of the speakers and the outstanding students that we serve. In the spirit of this graduation night of accomplishments and awards, we want to keep 3 former continuing education staff members' memories alive by giving 3 awards. The first is the James Davis Award, named after the former manager of the Fort Wayne Community School Continuing Ed program. This one recognizes a member of the graduation class that excels in perseverance and hard work and overcoming obstacles in their pursuit of a HSE diploma. The Jo Beth Chambers Award, named after a retired HSE teacher at Anthus, that recognizes one female continuing ed grad in her honor, and the Scott Sowers Award, named after a former HSE teacher retired from Anthus, that recognizes one male continuing ed grad each year. All 3 retired educators that these awards honor best exemplifies the many positive attributes that these 3 educated role models exhibited to our former students, their families, and their co-workers for so many years. Each of the 3 award winners will get an award plaque that they will keep, and their names placed on our program awards plaque that will hang with pride in the continuing ed program as an inspiration for future HSE students to be positive, reach their goals, and live their dreams. So at this time, if I could have Scott Sowers and Jo Beth Chambers come forward. The James Davis Award. The recipient of this award is a delightful student who worked very hard to obtain her HSE. She rarely missed class and was always eager to learn. She motivated her fellow classmates by showing caring and concerning and encouraging words to them. She easily passed the reading, writing, science, and social studies portions of the HSE. Does this sound familiar? Math was a different story. Due to illnesses in her youth, which prevented her from attending school, she did not have a strong math background. She took the math test several times before finally passing it. Each time she received a score lower than 500, which is the passing score, she was back in class working even harder. She completed assignments, followed directions, and the key word, practiced, practiced, practiced. She never gave up on her achieving her goal of her high school equivalency diploma. Courtney McLemore, her perseverance paid off in the end, and she earned her HSC diploma, and she will be receiving the James Davis Award this evening. Courtney, if you'll come forward. The Jo Beth Chambers Award. The recipient of the Jo Beth Chambers Award is a young lady who showed patience and understanding at every turn of her challenging journey to earn her high school equivalency diploma. She experienced some major setbacks trying to secure paperwork even necessary to take the test. Her calm, relaxed nature served her well during her lengthy, trying process to access proper documents, all of which were out of her control. Academically, she completed every task asked of her. She was creative in finding ways to get to class, riding the bus, sometimes walking very long distances, always arriving on time or early, and many times staying late. She exhibited maturity beyond her years, following teachers' directions and completing her assignments. She always greeted her teachers and classmates with a warm, unassuming smile, working hand in hand for a positive outcome. Along with being a hard worker, she is well liked by everybody that she meets. The deserving honoree of this award, Kenesha Davis. The Scott Sowers Award. Warm, kind, thoughtful, happy, gracious, grateful, committed are just a few of the words that describe the recipient of this year's Scott Sowers Award. This gentleman came to the United States approximately 6.5 years ago after living in Laos and Thailand. He came here to serve the Lao community as a religious leader and teacher. Education is very important to him, so he came to Anthus to improve his English skills and to obtain his high school equivalency diploma. He started ELL classes in 2014 and put in over 1,018 hours of study. In 2017, he transitioned to HSE classes and studied over 375 hours in an effort to obtain his HSE diploma. He found the content of math particularly challenging. Another theme. In spite of a few setbacks, he did not give up on his HSE diploma goal, which he received in early 2019. His positive attitude and tenaciousness propelled him to finish what he started. He is a positive role model, not only as a student, but also as a human being who seeks to positively affect his surroundings. He was chosen for this award because of his dedication and commitment to education and his very optimistic attitude. This year's recipient for the Scott Sowers Award is Paiwan Singsakam. And by the way, I wanted to point out that Mr. Sowers had him as a student when he was in our program. Well, it's that time of our graduation ceremony where we like to do something special. We're extremely proud of the graduates, but we also know that they did not earn their diploma by themselves. Each graduate counted, as you heard in the speeches tonight, support of someone else, whether it was a spouse, a sibling, a parent, grandparent, teacher, friend, neighbor, someone else that supported them in their pursuit of a dream and gave them a boost when they needed it. Through kind words that encouraged, supportive words that challenged, each of these graduates were influenced by someone else. We have given each graduate a carnation, a small symbol of a big thank you to someone in their lives that made a difference and helped them to reach their goal. We now are going to turn the lights up in the audience, and our graduates will now go out into the audience and give their carnation in gratitude of the support they have been given by getting their diploma. So graduates, please take 2-3 minutes and come back on stage after thanking that special person that helped make a difference in your life. Several years ago that said, education is not the filling of a pail, but the lighting of a fire. May the ultimate award for all of our graduates tonight be a new spark of education that will ignite the drive and determination for a lifelong passion for learning, knowing that we learn more by looking for the answer to a question and not finding it than we do from learning the answer itself. At this time, would Anisha Burns step forward to lead the class on one final thing, and that's the turning of the test. Okay, graduates, if you will stand, please. After having fulfilled all the requirements and obligations for our diploma established by the state of Indiana, at this time we ask that all graduates please officially switch your tassel from the right to the left side of your cap. And for the last time, we present the class of 2019.